Alright guys, I'm back here. I'm going to change that burner head. I'm going to put a fixed head in there. I'll show you what I'm going to use. This is this type. This is a fixed head. I'd much rather use this type of... I'm just going to change the burner tube and put a new assembly in there. And this is flange is adjustable, so I can adjust it to fit the boiler. This is like an F3 head, which is fine for like a 75 1 gallon nozzle, and that's all I'm running in this thing. And I'll show you what kind of head that's in this thing. We'll take this apart. Let me disconnect it all, and I'll shut the oil line off and disconnect it, and we'll pop it out. There's only 4 screws that hold the whole thing in. One there, and then 2 on the top. You can see them right there, and the whole thing will come right out. See, that flange is welded in there, so that's not an adjustable flange. Some of them are welded, some of them have Allen keys. Alright, let me get to it. Alright, I got the power off and I got the oil shut off. I'll disconnect this oil, pull this off, disconnect the power. Got a little container catching the oil there. Makeup beer boot for the outside makeup beer. That 1 screw should take that right off. Get that out of the way. We're not changing any of this stuff. We're just going to change the burner tube. Next we'll change the power. Disconnect the power. Only 2 wires here. Hot and neutral. That's it. I had a hard time. Disconnect that for now. See, this has got the fixed head on it. This is the one that was all burnt. So I'm going to change that whole tube assembly. I'm going to put a different type of assembly in here. I'll show you when I'm done. Yeah, so there's only 4 screws holding it, and the whole thing will pull right out. Only 4 screws holding that thing in. There's one on the side here, one on this side, and then 2 on the top here. This whole thing will pop right off. Alright, now I'm going to pull this off. See, this is a whole different type of assembly, which I'm not a big fan of these. I'd much rather on the fixed head. That's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do now is put this fixed head on here. You'll see it goes in. I'm going to put them screws back. This is adjustable. gotta get them 4 screws back in there good. One. Then this is adjustable for whatever I want. This we can set it the same as this head. Same distance in as this head. This will be fine. Should measure this opening, and you want to be just in a little bit. Let me get a tape measure. We'll measure that. Well, that should be the same right there. I'll get a tape measure and I'll measure it. Let's see what we got there. 2.5. We want to be 2.5. Want to be in just a hair. That's good right there. There's no screw on the bottom, set screw on the bottom on this one, so it's just 2. That's fine. I'll hold it in place. Gasket. I'm using this assembly up here so I could slide this whole thing forward if I want. I'm going to put that on there like that. Push it until it goes all the way up. Until it hits. So obviously this is a little bit different because that was a different type of head in here, but it's fine now. You see the nozzle where it needs to be. All right. Much rather run a fixed head like that any day of the week. These things are fine now. Anything you want to tip it, have it so it's tipping up a little bit, and that's good. So it's tight. There we go. I'm gonna have it tipping down a little bit, so if there's any oil that gets accumulated in there, it will drain down. This assembly I got out of my garage off an old burner. black from the power and black to black into the protector. And then the whites, the neutral. This transformer has just black, so one of the blacks is a neutral. Okay. I'll have to purge this overhead oil line again, but no big deal. Make up your boot from outside. We're ready to rock and roll here with this baby. Just bleed the oil line out and I'll be good to go. Get the oil turned back on, we'll bleed the oil line. Then we'll fire it up and we'll check the combustion. Alright. Got the go flow there, I'll be good with that. To set the ear band up. Give it more ear, that's for sure. Running good now. It's a 75 in there, and I put a restrictor plate in here also. That run for a little bit, get some heat in the chimney, and we'll check the combustion. Just cut draft, that's it. Finger over the back, I'll release it. See, it's got draft, that's perfect right there. Gotta run for a bit. Parts per million is what I'm looking for right there. And also the CO2. Anything around 12, 12 and a half, you're getting close to soot, so that's good right there. I like to have it below 12. 7 parts per million, that's excellent. See what we got here. Some guys like the excess air. I don't give a shit about that, but some guys like to see that, so there it is. All I'm concerned about is the CO2 below 12 or right around 12 and the parts per million. See, I'm dropping 4 or 5. That's perfect. You start getting above 40 there, that parts per million. Well, actually, anything above 400, you can't leave it running. Anything, 100 or so, I'd be concerned. Parts per million, but that's good right there. I think with oil they say 50 and below you're okay, but I usually get it, under 10, no problem. Alright, let me get that, let me print that. But good, it's working a lot better with that head on there. I got a good draft here over the fire. Alright, we just print that. Let me save that. Options. Clipboard, okay. Data is stored. Let me get my printer. Turn it down to 180. What I did on the heat was I opened up all these heat zones to get rid of some of the heat in the boiler so I could run it. I'll have to shut them off. Alright, so I got the new tube assembly in there. It's the old one there. You can tell the head was all melted away. I like to run a small nozzle in these burners. 0.75. This thing probably calls for like a 110, 125. I'll run like a 75 in there. I got no issue with that. Never have a problem with it at all. My combustion test. Sometimes these burners will run better with a smaller nozzle on them. That's it. It's running fine. I'm getting a good draft over the 5. I got good CO. That head shouldn't melt like that anymore. I'm not a big fan of those type of heads, the adjustable heads like that. You got to have that draw assembly set just right. It will be high CO levels.